gentlemen, girls, and boys, and welcome to Barnabo Stadium on the beautiful campus of Romeo High School for tonight's NISA soccer match featuring the visiting Maryland Bobcats and your Michigan Stars. Officials for tonight's soccer match as assigned by NISA, the head referee, Nicole Green. Assistant referee number 1, Jacob Little. Assistant referee number 2, Audra Pullen. And the fourth referee, Jorge Padilla. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Active duty and veterans may leave their caps on while rendering the military salute as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome, everybody, to Romeo High School. You're watching NISA on 11 Sports. We start the week with a really good matchup on paper. The defending champion Michigan Stars and the visiting Maryland Bobcats. Good evening, all. Mason Lowry with you alongside Brendan Goforth for this one. You know, the last time Maryland came here, we had more red cards than we had goals. The Stars won 2-0. But we saw 3 players sent off. So if we end this one 11v11, Brendan, that would be a step in the right direction.
You know, it really would. Let's try and have a clean game out there today. I know it can get a little exciting. You know, your emotions can rise and might influence your actions a little bit. But keeping it nice and clean is the name of the game here tonight.
You know, you've got 2 physical teams full of talent. The guy I'm really excited to see is Darwin Espinal for the Maryland Bobcats, the second leading goal scorer in NISA. He's only one behind Marcus Nagelstad, who's been so prolific for so long for Chattanooga FC. That's the player that this Michigan Stars team, who is still hobbled a little bit with injury, they need to find a way to slow him down, something not many teams have been able to do.
It should be exciting to see, seeing how explosive they can be out there tonight. Definitely going to be a challenge on Michigan's side of things to try and put a stop to the offensive push from Espinal.
And there's a new player to add on to the injury list for the Michigan Stars, and that's Anthony Bowie, who was one of the players that was sent off last year in September when Maryland Bobcats came here. They'll be without him and his bite and his tenacity in midfield. He is replaced by Niels Lelouch, who makes his first start in over a year, his first start of the season for the Stars. His last time in the starting 11 for a league match came for Fort William FC in the Scottish Highland Leagues last April against Turriff United in a match that ended 1-1. So he'll sit at the base of the midfield. He'll have to slow down guys like Andrew Wivel and Malik Tom, etc. for the Maryland Bobcats. These teams are 3rd and 4th in the NISA standings. As of right now, the Stars have 3 games in hand on Maryland and on Chattanooga at the top of the table. They could pull ahead of Albion San Diego if they were to win tonight.
It's a battle of teams in the middle. Can go up, can go down. Got the next man up mentality here for Michigan, trying to fill in a spot and just go out there and put together a good overall game.
So you'll have Michigan Stars in white, Maryland Bobcats in almost all black with gold numbers and letters. And Given what we saw last year, I don't really envy Nicole Green, the woman in the middle for this match. Nicole Green, the referee, with Jacob Little and Audra Fullen running the lines, and Jorge Padilla, the fourth official.
You know, when I was younger, I did some umpiring for some Little League Baseball, and I'll tell you what, one thing that's never a good time is having the people on the sidelines being upset with you when you are the official making the decisions out there on the field.
And these are not kids, of course. These are grown men. They're going to let you hear about it in a slightly different way than the Little League players might have.
Oh, yeah, more ways than one.
Maryland attacking the goal to our right in this first half. Michigan Stars moving right to left. They have this early throw-in. I'll run you through the teams. Tatenda Makruva in goal for Michigan Stars, with Yakov Shmelev, Katero Umeda, Leon Merrick, the leading scorer. 5 goals in the league, another one against Inter Detroit in the Independent Cup Great Lakes Region Final. Lelouch, we mentioned, making his first start. Andres Shalbad, Andrew Barrowman, just recently signed from Savannah Clovers. Hunter Olson is back in the team. Ahmed Shaibu Jr., Artem Baranovsky, and Ezra Brown. This is Malik Tom on the run the other way. 1v1 with Ezra Brown, trying to get the cross away, and does. It's met by the Michigan Stars, and they can try and clear.
Yeah, that was a clutch stop right there to keep the push from continuing to go forward.
Marich let that run beyond him to the captain, Jocelyn Pasayan, and further back to Alex Sutton, who has been their regular goalkeeper this year, with Tom and Pasayan in the starting lineup. Darwin Espinal, we've mentioned already. Jimmy Filerman, Richard Forka, Abdu Yam, Andrew Wivel, Manny Gonzalez, Michael Akinkoye, and Philip Burnett. Here is Yam, the Senegalese center forward. Couldn't do anything with that. Barrowman clears. Back to Richard Forka. It was Forka and Pasayan, who were the Maryland Bobcats players sent off last September here. And to slide that through, looking for Malik Tom. Couldn't find the mark. They've won possession back, though, with Tom. The run on the right came from Burnett, who will try and bomb up that flank from his right back spot. He's won a throw-in.
Yeah, so far at the start of this game, Maryland really on the offensive here, has Michigan on their heels.
Lelouch puts that behind for the first corner of the match. Definitely keeping an eye on Niels Lelouch. We mentioned his first start in quite some time and playing kind of an unfamiliar role. He's a center back by trade, 20 years old, 6'4", still very slender, from Marseille. Filerman whips the corner in, overhit a bit. Baranovsky headed to the edge of the 18. Bobcats will try and work a cross in on the right, and that's high and wide from Abdu Yam. But a great early opportunity for the Bobcats, not even 3 minutes in.
I mean, just a couple of inches to their left, and that's going right in the back of the net.
That's something no goalkeeper wants to have happen to them. Their first touch essentially being picking it out of your own goal.
Yeah, but it kind of wakes you up.
Yeah, no kidding. It'll have to. It's Wivel and Yam highest up the pitch there on your screen for Maryland. Marich with a touch. Back to Barrowman. It'll be interesting to see how those two operate together as this season progresses. That's given away kind of cheaply and picked up by Yam.
Yeah, got to have a little more control there. An errant pass. Going the wrong direction.
There's Espinal racing ahead, finding a bit of space through the middle. He'll line up a shot. It's just wide. Easy enough to see how he has 9 goals already in league play, 9 in 14 matches.
Yeah, you started the top of the show by pointing him out and already showing us why we should be paying attention. 4 minutes in, giving us something to look at.
You cannot, if you're Michigan Stars, allow him to cut in on his right foot. He will make you pay. Baranovsky carried it forward. Here's Yakov Shmelev, somebody who really likes to join the attack from out wide for the Stars. Can pinch in if he has to. Here's Berriman. Lelouch. In the absence of Anthony Bowie, we'll see how this midfield three functions together. That's Andres Shalbot up there on the right. Nobody really attacking his headed ball infield when that finds its way to Alex Sutton. Made 78 appearances in goal at Lafayette collegiately. Got a degree in economics from that school. And has been the regular starter for the Bobcats this year. Felix Anand was so good for them last year. That's a bit of a scuff, but Ahmed Shaibu Jr. took out his man, and the Bobcats have a free kick. Their last league match came on July 19th. Drew 1-1 with the still unbeaten Chattanooga FC. Manny Gonzalez goal canceled out by a Marcus Nagelstad free kick. They are the second highest scoring team in the league. They've found the back of the net 21 times. And they can score in bunches. They had wins against Club de Leon where they scored 5 and 3. Also a 4-1 against Savannah. Andrew Berriman's old team, and he'll send that long for Leon Marich, but cushioned back to Sutton by Jocelyn Pasayan.
Stars just can't quite get into open space. They keep getting clustered into regions where they can't break away. They're going to have to figure out how to get some open space here moving forward if they're going to get some goals in here.
Well, they'll settle for one as long as Maryland doesn't score.
True that.
But easier said than done, especially with a player like Espinal who can create something from very little. Here's Berriman. Artem Baranovsky, I think, has been a great addition to the squad this year. You could tell he was looking for Hunter Olsen to make a run up ahead. He wanted to play that direct ball, but it just wasn't on. Now in his 17th professional season, Artem Baranovsky. Spent a lot of time in the Ukrainian Premier League in his home country, also in Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Kazakhstan the last 3 years. Here come the Bobcats again. Andrew Wivel trying to keep this from running behind, which he does. Espinal cutting back in, low shot, and away by Shaibu.
Way to get it cleared right there.
Can they go quickly? Berriman looking for Olsen, who is onside and flicking this through the middle, but not close enough to Marich. That's Shalbud closing that down. We've gotten accustomed to seeing him playing at left back lately, with Jacob Campbell being out, and Shalbud now is down in a heap.
You don't want to see that.
Right in front of the Stars bench. So he's gone from left back to the right side of a front three. He's got terrific pace. He's another one of those guys, a lot like Anthony Bowie, who puts himself in positions to be fouled or to be clipped.
You know, that's good, both a good and bad thing, right? You're being aggressive. You're putting yourself in potential good positions to make strong plays, but you also open yourself up to more physicality, which can then not be so great as well.
Umeda has played that ahead to Marich. His cross is blocked. And a throw in a dangerous area for the Stars. It normally would be with Anthony Bowie. It's another area in which they will miss him in the starting lineup. He is their long throw-in taker. In fact, they've got two guys that are really adept at that, as we learned last year, Bowie and Campbell, and they're both injured. So it's Hunter Olsen's turn.
Let's see what he's got.
So often Marich is the target on that first ball. It went over him, was flicked on by Baranovsky, but right to Alex Sutton. Hunter Olson, by the way, was not available for the match against Gold Star, which the Stars won 3-2 very late in stoppage time. We'll pick up this thought in a moment as Malik Tom plays this ahead, looking for Abdu Yam's run. That's great defending by Ezra Brown to get back and disrupt. And the Stars have the throw in. Hunter Olson wasn't able to play in the Gold Star match because it conflicted with his rehearsal dinner. He got married. Congratulations to him.
Congrats.
That was a match that was scheduled to be played at Gold Star on Wednesday. Ended up being moved right here to Barnabo Field and pushed back 24 hours. You can't push a rehearsal dinner back. They gave him the night off.
No, you certainly cannot.
And ultimately they didn't need him thanks to the late heroics of Leon Marich after Anthony Bowie scored his first 2 goals of the season prior to that. Terrific counterattack, and I know you saw the highlight. An awesome finish from Big Leon from outside the box. That'll find its way to Tatenda Makruva. Haven't really had the continuity, Michigan Stars, that they might have hoped at the back. There have been so many injuries. Baranovsky going long for the newly married Hunter Olson, but finds Alex Sutton.
Yeah, just not the best timing on that one.
I wonder if he might have tweaked something. You could tell he put up an index finger in the direction of Nicole Green. Say, just give me 1 second.
Looking a little
hopefully that's the only finger that's raised to any of the officials tonight.
That would be the goal.
Indeed. Akinkoye just stepped in front of Kotaro Umeda. Shmelev put the tackle in.
You know, so far both of these teams looking pretty similar in terms of a matchup on paper, and what we've seen so far has contributed pretty well to that. A lot of back and forth. Nobody really taking too much control over the other. I think whoever gets this first goal here might be setting themselves up pretty nicely.
Well, the Stars, their last 2 wins have come by 3-2 scorelines. There's another kind of careless giveaway, and this is one of those times when you feel like they may be missing Anthony Bowie a little bit. Some stray passing in midfield. That's a really nice idea. That's a cross with the outside of a boot, looking for Abdu Yam's run just out of his reach.
Just needed an extra step in there.
So Espinal, in the first 13 minutes, has nearly scored one and nearly created another.
That's why you mark him down on the sheet.
Well, when you asked me who should I be keeping an eye on, first thing out of my mouth, Darwin Espinal. He's good. He's very good. Andres Shalban, I think, was offside. The bench for the Stars, aside from Noah Lawrence, the substitute keeper, Nicholas Nicola, Milo Barton, Prosper Figby, and Robert Yunjai. Still no Garrett Hogbin, though should be back soon. And the aforementioned Jacob Campbell, whom we've talked about, the regular left back last year, is starting to work his way towards fitness. Hopefully won't be too long before he is available again. Akinkoye leaving that back at the edge of the 18. Maryland was wide open for the shot. It's poked away by Shaibu.
Yes. Imperative block right there.
The lack of goals notwithstanding, it's been a really positive first 14 minutes from the Maryland Bobcats.
It really has. They've just shown more composure overall in their ability to control the ball and develop plays. They've applied more pressure. It's interesting. Going to be interesting to see what Michigan can do in response here. Probably trying to get their footing, dealing with some injuries, different lineup. How can they put together a response against Maryland here?
Baranovsky looks for the surging run from Ezra Brown. He goes toe-to-toe with Jocelyn Pasayan, who is behind off of whom? Goal kick.
You know, it seems every time they've tried to go the length of the field, they just haven't been able to get the timing up quite right, or there's always been a Maryland player right there to meet and hasn't allowed that play to develop. Not to say they haven't continued to try.
Well, it maybe only takes one.
True that.
I feel like these are two teams it's difficult to go long and direct against. Marich laid that off. Umeda trying to slot it through, looking for Olsen's run. That was a different way to go about it. He has consistently this year, Hunter Olsen, made runs like that. Has scored twice this year, has 1 assist. Espinal, back to Yam. Scored 46 goals in his collegiate career at UConn. One of their all-time leading scorers has been in USL with Louisville City.
He's lost his footing.
And Umeda was expecting Olsen to be there and instead puts it straight out of play.
It's a nice clean reset here for Maryland.
Yam has also been with Forward Madison in USL League One, which has maybe my favorite crest in American professional soccer. It prominently features Madison, Wisconsin's official bird, the plastic flamingo.
Oh, you gotta love it.
Which, if you have not seen, it's worth a Google maybe at halftime of this one. Here is Jan again. That's Espinal being hounded by Shmelev, trying to wriggle free and cannot, though he has won a free kick. Shmelev was holding him back as Shalbad booted that into the stands.
I feel like you could just see the frustration coming out with that ejection of the ball.
I think it was in the 18th minute that we had our first ejections last year when these two played here.
Oh, got about 20 seconds to figure that one out here.
Espinal's free kick, headed wide, off of Mdu Yam. The Maryland bench, by the way, Daniel Akinkoye, John Hollinger, the backup keeper and a former Michigan Stars player, Nico Luculia, Carl Mbobo, Pierre Richard, Gavin Shields, and Sam Solomon. Here's Brown. That's one that really needs a left-footed ball forward that will curl in instead of out over the touchline.
Yep. Just seems like when they get across the half mark, they're just not quite able to control what is developing on the Michigan side of things. Maryland, on the other hand, able to control everything as they're going down towards the box. At this rate, chance probability says that one of these shots are eventually going to go in.
One would think so, huh? That's over Marich and nobody else attacking it. Shalbad and Olsen were both in the area. Now Forka goes. Makruva always defends those so well. He tends to live on the edge of the 18-yard box. Something long and vertical. 99 times out of 100 he's going to get to. Brown, and again, nobody's making a run.
Seems like a miscommunication.
Yeah, he wanted Olsen to keep going, but he had checked.
He did.
Nobody making a run there either. Espinal now furthest up the pitch for Maryland. That's over. Forka will be collected by Olsen, who has pace. Poseidon's running with him. Nobody up to offer any support, and Olsen plunks the side netting. Boy, he saw Sutton off his line. To be fair to the keeper, he had it covered. But that wasn't too far away for the Stars from almost nothing.
That was an exciting play to see develop, just a little bit off to the right side. But it's good to see some offense here on the side of Michigan. Hopefully that can spark some movement in them here as we continue on.
Scheibe will back off of Espinal, which is not always a good idea. Infield to Wivel. That's behind everyone. Over for a throw-in. Will stay with the Bobcats. That's Malik Tom. He's done well against Ezra Brown to win a corner.
Doing everything they could to keep the Bobcat player from pushing in.
Malik Tom from Rockville, Maryland. Former DC United under-23 prospect. Signed from Newcastle Olympic in Australia. Wonder if that's the Rockville mentioned in the REM Classic. Don't go back to Rockville. But anyway, there's the corner from Filerman. That's the second time he's hit essentially that ball that's quite deep and then headed back in the direction of the penalty spot.
Marich wanted absolutely nothing to do with that ball right there, sending it out.
Stooping header back from Baranovsky. Yikes. With Filerman still lurking up from left back. Don't go back to Rockville and waste another year. The end of the course. It's one of my favorite REM songs.
Now I want to hear this song.
I'll put it on the drive home.
All right.
Ask and ye shall receive, my friend. Just past the halfway point of the first half, the Maryland Bobcats have threatened more frequently than have the Michigan Stars. It's another giveaway. Umeda expected a teammate behind him, and there was nobody there, just a black shirt. Baranovsky got a toe in. Maryland throw.
You know, we may be lacking in goals right now, but we're certainly not lacking in communication. You can hear the players shouting out commands consistently here on both sides. You can tell they're both hungry to get a point on the board here.
That's a neat spin from Tom. A little run out. Neat idea, just not enough space to pull it off. Darwin Espinal, unsurprisingly, has come closest to scoring for Maryland inside the opening couple of minutes, bending one past the far post.
Seeking that double-digit goal mark is Espinal.
Now the Stars will hope it doesn't happen against them. Baranovsky scoots forward, finds Olsen. Neat little layoff touch to Lelouch. Bit heavy from Ezra Brown. He's won a free kick. You caught one up the ankle from Philip Burnett.
That did not look fun. Hoping he's all right.
Well, the last thing that the Stars need are more players carrying knocks.
You know, you don't want that in general. But when you already have several down, it's...
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah.
Umeda. I don't think that went according to plan.
Certainly not.
Umeda got a decent ball in there anyway. And good distribution by Sutton. Finds the feet of Espinal, who had to slow down to take it in his stride. That's played just behind Wivel, who lost his footing. Olsen with a critical challenge because Malik Tom was in there, and that did come off of Tom last.
You wonder what would have happened there if he didn't lose his footing heading to the ball.
Well, it's easy enough to do in the evening on artificial turf. It does get pretty slick. Not quite as slick as a natural surface, but still. Baranovsky, well, he's got nowhere to go whatsoever. As I say that, he gets himself out of it. The
sure
Houdini act from the big Ukrainian. Marich with a neat touch. That's on by Berriman to Olsen, who couldn't control.
It's not quite able to bring it in. This seems to be what has happened numerous times here as the Stars have tried to go past midfield.
Shaibu hooks that away. Olsen giving chase, as is Burnett, who heads back to his keeper. Shmelev dove into that. Foul's given against Espinal.
Laying it all out on the line.
Shmelev, no, he didn't want Espinal to help him up. No, give me a teammate. Ahmed Shaibu Jr.
He's heard enough of Espinal so far this match.
I'm guessing a lot of defenders that have played against Maryland have had their fill of Darwin pretty quick.
Yeah, you'd think so.
This guy again.
You know, as a player, in my experience, it is always frustrating when you have that one player on the other side that you just can't quite seem to break through on. Every time you look around the corner, there they are.
Try it again for Marich's run. Closer, but not quite.
Not quite.
The layoff for Espinal. Filerman knocks that on, but Makruva will be at the edge of his box. As he usually is.
Been very active back there so far today.
Tonight and always with him. He's been with the Stars for quite some time now. Actually scored against Maryland earlier this year. First meeting between the two clubs. Stars went to the East Coast and got a 2-0 win. Nash Popovich scoring the first inside the last 10 minutes, and then Tatenda Makruva, of all people, taking a penalty and then doing a bunch of flips after the fact. Berriman found Marich, but it bobbled up on him.
Yeah, you can see the frustration on Marich there as he turned around, realizing the ball had passed.
He has had very few meaningful touches this first half hour.
There's still time.
Plenty of it, indeed.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, a lot of Artem Baranovsky balls forward like that have been directed toward Hunter Olson or Ezra Brown, occasionally Marich. Running up the left side. Runs to Pasayan. And Malik Tom. Abdu Yam. And Shaibu again backs off. Nice ball. And that's into the side netting from Tom. Popping up on the left this time.
Again, the Bobcats applying pressure.
Yeah, they keep getting themselves into good positions.
Just haven't been able to quite capitalize just yet. But again, very close.
There's Shmelev. He's only gotten forward of note once, really. They've tried to unbalance, I think, and they've sent Brown more frequently on this near side. Baranovsky, and he just has to keep carrying on. Now Shmelev is forward. Sutton beats him to it, and Shmelev, he'll be booked for that.
You can't do that.
That's a yellow card to Yakov Shmelev. Yeah, that was really not necessary.
He had time. Not the best decision right there.
Now, the other thing we're thinking about with that, your right back now is on a yellow card and kind of a silly one. Back in the spring against Gold Star, he had kind of a silly first yellow card and then a silly second yellow card in the second half, pulling down Max Rogova, and he got himself sent off. So now your defender, who is dealing more than anybody with Darwin Espinal, is already on a yellow card. He maybe has to think twice about defending him the way he might have before the booking.
And only 32 minutes into this match. There's too much time left. Put yourself in a difficult position.
Free kick goes to the Stars. With Shaibu and Yam getting tangled. Only one shot that I can recall for Michigan Stars so far, and that was Hunter Olson when he saw the keeper off the line hit the side netting. That's a foul. Berriman goes down from the Manny Gonzalez challenge. Of course, lately in the league, Stars have left it late. Prior to the 3-2 win over Gold Star, they had beaten LA Force 2-1 on a stoppage time goal from Leon Marich. That was another game that ended 11-9. LA Force had two players sent off in the second half. And, of course, Milo Barton scoring in the 117th minute to give the Stars the Great Lakes Region Championship in the Independent Cup.
That's a long match.
Indeed. That was a long day. That included about an hour-long lightning delay between the first and second periods of extra time. Abdu Yam. Espinal loves to pick it up 20 yards or so away from goal. Can't turn it into anything, though.
Kruva coming up.
Yeah, he spotted Berriman there open. Tackled away, but back to Baranovsky. He's been equal parts center back and quarterback, it feels like, in this first half. No touchdowns yet for him, though. Brown heads that on. Might he be able to keep this in play? No, it's bounding too quickly away from him. Natural surface, maybe. On turf, certainly not. Espinal a bit deeper. Nice ball picking out Burnett, but could only take it backwards.
The Bobcats just methodically picking their decisions here, where they're going to place the ball. Most certainly going to try and take a shot here.
Espinal forced back. Stars give possession away again, but a free kick is given. You would expect from this range a Darwin Espinal special. Yam was the man who was fouled.
You know, and Maryland has just been doing this the whole game so far, applying pressure, not afraid to get dirty, and staying with the ball, maintaining some form of control. And that's why they're in this position right now.
Manny Gonzalez also over this. Up steps Espinal. Wide. Thought he had picked out the corner.
Just couldn't quite place it in that top left corner that he was searching for there, just a little far to the left. As we get closer here towards the end of the first half, the Stars have to put something together here to, at the very least, give themselves some positive momentum going into the second half. An overwhelming presence from Maryland here certainly has to be weighing on the side of the Stars.
And Leon Marich playing much deeper now. There were 4 Michigan Stars further ahead of him in that sequence. They could not keep possession. Abdou Yam on the left. The run was made by Filerman. Could do nothing with it. Marich couldn't peel away from Richard Forka, trying to barge his way through him. And Forka not giving an inch.
I tell you what, I'd probably give a couple inches of if I see him coming after me. I'm gonna step right out of the way.
Forka's a braver man than either of us.
And that's why he's down there.
Indeed. Tom Gonzalez, blocked by the heel of Niels Lelouch. Olsen clears. Only Marich up there for the Stars. He did win that, but
nobody else there to.
Nobody the same zip code.
No. Closest person was back in Toledo.
Yeah, Filerman took too long. It ran over the line. Filerman's no stranger to playing up here. He was with Detroit City for a couple of years. In fact, in the 2021 NISA season, he scored 6 times. Greenville triumph last year in USL League One. Was always impressed with him when I saw him for Detroit City. Stars throw it. 5 minutes and change left in the first half.
This is an important possession here for Michigan.
Umeda looking for Shalbad. Down he goes, but touched him last.
Just not able to create anything once they get past the 40 here on the Michigan side of things. It's going to be an important thing to discuss when they go in the half, is how they can develop past the half mark in the second half.
Boy, Nicole Green swallowed her whistle there. Looked like a push maybe from Espinal on Shmelev. In the end, the shot is scooped over everything.
Well, certainly physical, I can tell you that much.
Well, nobody really protesting for Michigan Stars. And Shmelev obviously can't since he's been booked already. For the longest time, nobody was really minding Ezra Brown, who was all by himself on this near side.
Just waiting in position.
Yam got pulled down, but nothing given.
Stars looking for a way to break through here.
Well, I feel like in this first half, there hasn't been a great deal of off-the-ball movement from the Stars.
No.
And Berriman and Merrick having to come awfully deep. Umeda, good touch. Ahead looking for Shalbot. One-on-one with Forka.
Staying with it.
Shalbot won it back, but then he took down Poseidon.
That'll shut that down.
No goals this year, Andres Shalbot, but does have 3 assists. And Nicole Green now is talking to Andres Shalbot. Not booking him, but I'm guessing, letting him know, hey, I heard that, cut it out.
I'm sure there's some frustrations boiling over right now. Got to maintain composure.
Free kick. The Maryland Bobcats wanted a yellow against Shalbot, and they got it.
They sure did.
So that right side now, yellow cards all around. Shmelev and now Shalbot. That's Espinal for Wivel. Stars break up play. Filerman racing forward. Did that go over the line? I think it did.
What can the Stars do here in the remaining bit of time in this first half?
Yeah, there won't be much time added on.
No.
Maybe 2 minutes. Maybe. Not even, just one.
1 minute of stop time.
No goals, not a ton of fouls. Here's Marich for Hunter Olsen. Shuffling through the pack. Back to Lelouch. Umeda's ahead. Lelouch kept his run going. Here comes Barrowman. This is better from the Stars. Trying to meander his way towards the box, but got stood up.
We saw some life right there from Michigan. They were able to move through the defense pretty smoothly, which is something that we have not seen yet from them.
Baranovsky committed the foul. Umeda kicked the ball away. Nicole Green didn't book him.
I'll tell you, I like what I saw from that last possession right there from the Stars, showing their ability to move throughout the defense. And if they can put together something to that effect more consistently in the second half.
Yeah, more of that, please.
May have herself a different game.
Yam now on his feet. Off of Shaibu, boy, and away by Ezra Brown.
That was dangerously close.
That's the final act of this first half. Not a great deal to tell you about, quite frankly. The early chance from Darwin Espinal, the closest either team has come to scoring. He set a shot wide of the back post in the 3rd minute. The only chance of note from the Stars, Hunter Olsen putting one into the side netting from outside the box. We've reached halftime here in Romeo. No score between the Stars and Maryland Bobcats. You're watching NISA on 11. Nearly set for the start of the second half here at Romeo High School in Romeo, Michigan. You're watching NISA on 11 Sports. Goalless between Michigan Stars and Maryland Bobcats. We haven't had any red cards so far. That's the good news. The bad news is, in terms of attacking play, at least from the home side, there hasn't been a whole lot to talk about.
No, there really hasn't. There hasn't been any strong plays that have been able to develop on the Michigan side of things. Once they get past the half mark, they just haven't been able to control the ball and put together any plays. But on the other end, Maryland applying a lot of pressure so far in the first half. Just haven't quite been able to get the ball across the line into the back of the net. But we're going to see what happens here in the second half. It's still a 0-0 game. At the end of the day, it's anybody's match. The question's going to be who can get that first one in. I think that might be really integral to what happens here.
The first one may end up being the only one.
That's all you need. I think something I want to pay attention to a lot here in the second half is if they're able to get Marich going there. So far, he's been pretty much silenced by the Bobcats.
Mm-hmm.
Will he be able to get the ball? And I'm very interested to see what happens there. And on the other side of things, will Espinal be able to get one in the back of the net? Applying a lot of pressure. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, we talked about Marich and his lack of really meaningful touches in the first half. He was having to come awfully deep at times to try and get involved. And it was pretty route one stuff from the Stars, too. It was so frequently Baranovsky on the ball for a while and then hitting one straight ahead to whoever was in the left wing spot, whether it was Olsen or Brown or occasionally Marich. And it didn't really work. We'll see if any tactical tweaks are made here early on in the second half. I don't believe any substitutions have been made. And off we go. Michigan Stars in white, Maryland in black. Mason Lowry and Brendan Goforth with you on this Tuesday night in Southeast Michigan.
Always love a good Tuesday night soccer.
Absolutely. We'll have Friday night soccer as well this week. The Michigan Derby between the Michigan Stars and Gold Star FC. That'll be Friday at 7 o'clock. Give or take a few minutes right here on 11 Sports. Jocelyn Pasayan hooks that out of play. Early throw in for the Stars. Not quite 40 seconds into the second half.
Perhaps a good sign starting off the second half for Michigan.
Olsen again on long throw-in duty. Marich, Baranovsky, Lelouch, Shaibu, Shmelev, all inside the 18. Line drive, knocked down and away by Pasayan. Abduyam was highest up the pitch there. Espinal will send it back his way, but Andres Shalbat has this covered. Shaibu flicking that ahead. Berriman trying to flick it on, but couldn't find a teammate. Filerman hits that up into the air. We'll find Darwin Espinal, and you cannot allow him this much space. He's going to make things happen. To Akinkoye. Jimmy Filerman. Yum. Burnett's in space up there on the right, up from right back. Yam again. Tries to send it on for Burnett and does. He can get a cross in that zips past Makruva, but nobody attacking it in black.
Still maintaining possession though.
Espinal couldn't get around Lelouch. Throw in for Maryland Bobcats. They'll play at Flower City Union on the 5th and then host Savannah on the 12th of this month.
Looks like the Bobcats are going to kind of reset here.
Sion for Yam. Yam looking for Tom. It did find him. Burnett's cross never had a chance. Seems fairly cut and dried at this point who will and who will not be in the NISA playoffs at this point. City Union, Savannah Clovers, and Gold Star all with plenty of work to do to make the postseason. The other 6, really, it's all about seeding. If you can find your way into the top 2 seeds and avoid that quarterfinal match and the travel that may come with it, especially if you're seeded 5 or 6, that's a good thing.
Well, if the playoffs were to start right now, you'd have both of these teams here, Michigan, the 3rd seed, Maryland, the 4th seed. So both of them really trying to vie for getting a little bit higher up in there, like you mentioned, getting that top 2 spot. At this rate, it doesn't look like anybody's going to quite catch Chattanooga.
I would be floored if anybody did. They have been very, very solid all season. Marcus Nagelstad keeps doing Marcus Nagelstad things, scoring a lot of goals. On top of which, they're the only team in the league with a better defensive record than the Michigan Stars. Only conceded, I think, 5 goals in league play this year. Neat little flick of the heel from Leon Marich. Almost found the feet of Schalbot off a little pop from Hunter Olsen. That was a bit better.
Showing little signs of life here.
And you talked about finding ways to get Leon Marich involved. That's one way to do it.
That it is.
Well, he does have so many little flicks and little touches, and he puts good spin on the ball to release teammates.
Couldn't quite get there.
Not the precision that Michael Akinkoye was looking for. Here's Schalbot. Tried to play that to Barrowman. Didn't work. They do have to throw in, though.
They're applying some pressure here.
Barrowman wanted that quickly. Instead, Olsen will trot over for that long throw again. Looking for Baranovsky. Sends it on. Shmelov goes down. Penalty!
Oh, this should be interesting right here.
Shmelov tripped up right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Nicole Green didn't think about it for long and pointed to the spot.
You know, we've talked about it so many times so far throughout this match, and really what it comes down to is one. Can you get one? Can this be the one right here for Michigan?
Leon Marich will take the penalty. The Stars' last penalty kick attempt was at Chattanooga, and it was saved by John Antoine. So Leon Marich will step up to try and put Michigan Stars into the lead, and he does. Sent Alex Sutton, the keeper, the wrong way, and Michigan Stars, against the run of play, I think it needs to be said, have a 1-0 lead.
We talked about it at the start of the second half, getting Marich involved, getting him in there. And no better way to do it than getting a penalty kick in the back of the net.
Well taken penalty. There's only so much you can do as a goalkeeper. He didn't guess correctly. But if you're the Michigan Stars, there's not a lot of breathing room here. It's still only 1-0. Maryland has looked more threatening than they have from open play.
You know, but in a tight game, who up to this point has been 0-0, that one on the scoreboard should do a lot for your mentality. Hopefully to provide a little bit of confidence. But as you said, it is only one, and the game can get tied up just as quickly.
Michigan Stars' first goal of the evening, scored in the 53rd
Sixth goal in the league from Leon Marich. 7th in total. On his birthday, might I add. There would be no better birthday present, I'm sure, than a goal and 3 points. And he's 54 minutes of the way there. This would be his 25th birthday, incidentally.
And I'm 24. And he definitely makes me look like a youngster, I'll tell you what.
Well, he's been with the Stars for quite some time. He's gotten better and better every year. He has been really good this season. Already his best goal-scoring year. Here's Andrew Wivel for the Bobcats. Looking for an equalizer. Filerman's cross. Is that too deep? Yes, but Burnett was able to keep it in play.
Trying to stay with it.
Lost out to Olsen. Berman boots that forward. Marich will give chase. Forka cushions that back to Alex Sutton. Filerman again. That caroms off of Shalbot. Makruva comes out.
He knew what he wanted right there, and he went after it. There was no chance any Bobcat player was going to be grabbing onto that one.
Yes, leaping over center backs and center forwards in a single bound to tend to Makruva. Knocked down to Akinkoye. Gonzalez or Wivel.
A lot of energy here on the attacking side for the Bobcats.
Espinal. That's 3 points on a Friday, but it's no good here.
Not this upcoming Friday, though.
That's true. We're still a few weeks away from high school football. You and I live down in Ohio. High school football will be the odd Thursday night game on the 17th. And the first football Friday, the 18th. And in Michigan, I think I'm right in saying this, the Michigan season openers are 1 week later. That would be August 25th. Interesting. Leon Marich comes off. And Nicholas Nicola comes in. Leon Marich, somebody that rarely leaves the field for Michigan Stars. And a chance for Nicholas Nicola, the 17-year-old, to play his natural position, which is as a center forward. He's been mostly used as a wide substitute this year for the Stars. You and I were talking about him during halftime. Here is a player that is in kind of an unfamiliar role, playing out wide and coming off the bench. And he does a couple things in almost every appearance that are really, really good and really positive. Just needs a goal. And once he gets one, it kind of feels like the second and third won't be far behind.
Sometimes all you need to see is just for the ball to cross the line.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get it in there, changes your mentality. It relieves a burden, a bit of pressure on you, frees you up to take more chances and have more enjoyable experience out there. And like you said, it can snowball into the second and third and so forth.
Akinkoye couldn't thread the needle. Shaibu and Lelouch would have had that closed out. That's a nice ball and a decent touch from Hunter Olsen. Berriman's up there now. Nicola had made his run, but now is in an offside position and has to come back.
I'm interested to see how this attack looks for the side of the Michigan Stars here with Nicola going in place of Marich. How are the Bobcats going to try to defend, and what are the Stars going to do on their side of things?
Nicola chasing. Hussain watching it behind. No Bobcats warming up just yet. The Michigan Stars subs going on their run behind the goal to our left. Shmelev happy to go back to Makruva, whose distribution so often is so good. And Wivel put that right out of play. Lelouch did well just to kind of lord over him. Give him no space.
You know, in a match that for so long felt like Maryland had the edge, getting just that one goal in on the side of Michigan from Marich has seemingly provided a little bit of a shift in tides here on the pitch, as Maryland seems to be the one on their back foot a little bit here.
Forka in a mess. Got himself out of it, and a free kick given against the Stars anyway. Through ball from Espinal, didn't really threaten. Oh dear, Makruva. Well, near disaster for the Stars.
Narrowly avoided that one. He seems to be feeling it as a result.
Knocked to the right leg.
You know, on the side of the Bobcats right there, that's kind of what you want to do. You want to apply that pressure and force that minor mistake. Because that's all you need right down there. It's just a minor mistake, and that could be the difference in a goal.
He is kind of a high wire act, isn't he, to tend to Makruva? Plays on a knife edge.
You know, that makes it exciting.
You know, he reminds me a fair amount of my favorite goalkeeper of all time, Rene Higuita, who played in goal for Colombia at the 1990 World Cup. He's known for two things: that scorpion kick in a friendly against England, which I think a lot of soccer people have seen, but also a calamitous mistake that he made against Cameroon to put his team out of the World Cup in the second round. But he was an extremely ambitious, fun-to-watch, exhibitionist goalkeeper, kind of. Back to Basayan. Malik Tom. Tom going on a nice little run here. Yeah, driving was the word indeed. Shaibu did well defensively. Goes header down to Akinkoye, who's being held back by Katero Umeda.
Yeah, right in front of the ref.
Umeda now will get a yellow card.
Took no time to get that yellow out.
Professional foul. 64th minute. So Shmelev, Umeda, and Shalbad. Now we're on yellows. None given yet to Maryland. Nicole has had enough.
Indeed.
Guys, cut it out. Ezra Brown sees the funny side.
Sure does, smiling ear to ear over there.
He's an interesting guy, has a master's degree in educational entrepreneurship from Penn. Former St. Kitts and Nevis Youth International, also recently released a single onto Apple Music.
Well, all right.
Degrees from Temple and Penn. He's doing fine.
I would imagine so.
Indeed. Free kick is floated in. Shmelev shins away. Didn't make great contact. Berriman does. Kasayan was back, and he has to get back further still. Counterattack coming. 5-on-2, and now 5-on-3 for Michigan Stars. Here comes the educated man himself, Ezra Brown. The cross to the feet of Alex Sutton. And Olsen and Nicola running up there.
The ground that he covered right there. Absolutely sprinting down that left side.
That is a reprieve for Maryland Bobcats. Would have been hard to see a route back from 2-0 down. Free kick against Nicola. Ooh, Forka missed it. And it's picked up by Nicola. Needs some help. Outside of the boot for the run of Olsen. Burnett running with him. Olsen got there first. Two in the middle. No chance for a cross. Burnett recovered nicely. Stars throw. The goal coming 13 minutes ago. Leon Marich from the penalty spot. He was subbed out not long after that.
You know, the Stars are feeling much more alive when the ball is getting pushed down the field compared to the first half. Right now, they just seem to be getting to it and getting control a lot faster.
Olsen's throw, flicked on. Shmelev, shot on the left foot, blocked immediately by Richard Forka. Right back to the Stars. There's George Yunchai. Owner, coach, other duties as assigned.
The favorite line
Getting
on any job assignment.
Getting the ball back to the ball kid so the ball can go back into play. We may still see his son, Robert, off the bench at some point. Great control by Abdou Yam. Shalbot essentially changing the point of attack for Maryland.
Yeah.
Throw in. Espinal, what can he conjure up? Back to Wivel. And Forka coming forward. It's off of Umeda. Cleared away by the Stars. Bobcats still in possession. Yam. Free kick given against Andres Shalbot. And a yellow card, remember.
Gotta be careful out there.
Not really a bookable foul, I wouldn't think. He got sent off against Maryland Bobcats last year, the first meeting here between these two teams.
It's just something about this matchup. This should be real interesting right here with Espinal.
He'll have 5 or 6 to aim at in the box. Two-man wall of Shalbot and Nicola. Good delivery. Very good delivery! And headed into the back post for the Bobcats.
Absolutely clinical ball placement right there. Oh, man. Just a gorgeous shot. And what did we say?
That's Abdu Yam, I think, with his first goal of the season. Having found the back of the net 46 times at UConn.
Hands up, Stars, hands up, let's go. Come on.
So game on with 20 minutes left.
Game on indeed.
And the Stars, without Leon Marich on the pitch now. They're going to have to do it without their leading scorer.
Bobcat goal scored in the 71st minute by number 18, Abdu Hayam.
You know, a game of numbers says that goal eventually goes in, and it did. Now we have a 1-1 match here.
And you know, you said it would be interesting with Espinal over the free kick. That was an absolute peach of a ball that he put in. And they're not done yet. Here's Malik Tom cutting it back in. Maybe a chance on the left foot. Oh, and he scored! He bends it into the back post. That's a sensational strike from Malik Tom. 2 goals in 2 minutes. And Maryland Bobcats have turned this thing around completely.
The tides have certainly shifted here in terms of Maryland coming in, scoring 2 back-to-back in such a short amount of time. What an excellent shot there by Tom.
He scored 13 in his college career at the University of the District of Columbia. His second goal of this NISA season, and that was an absolute banger. And the Stars have it all to do now, just to take a point.
Suddenly on the back foot, and they seem to be the ones applying pressure here in the second half. And just like that, here we are.
Hunter Olsen came back from an offside position. Nicole Green spots it now.
You know, it's always a difficult thing when you're down, especially as the clock continues to push forward and less time is there for you to make a play. It's an uphill battle, so it's already intimidating to be able to get one back. But then to take a second one in such a short amount of time, it takes guts. And now we see the Bobcats here with a commanding 2-1 lead. Here as we start our 73rd minute.
Just planted into the top corner, Malik Tom. Well, and what did we say at 1-0 up after the Leon Marich penalty? we said the Stars really couldn't afford to breathe a sigh of relief just yet. And a lot of that was down to, well, how talented we know this Maryland Bobcats team to be, but also how threatening they had been in the first 53 minutes before the first goal. Filerman just offside was Abdou Yam. I don't think he was off by a lot. Maryland will make their first substitution. And it's Pierre Richard coming on for Andrew Wivel. Richard has been one of the regulars this year for the Bobcats, has 1 assist. Well, Maryland, in the span of 2 or 3 minutes, scored 2 of the best goals that we have seen up here at Romeo High School all season. Just a perfect free kick from Espinal and the really nice header flick to the back post from Abdou Yam. And then Malik Tom, boy, what a goal that was, cutting in. And we had been so worried about Darwin Espinal doing essentially the same thing, cutting in and having a go. It was Tom from the far side that did it.
And I'll tell you what, on that first goal from Yam, coming off the free kick from Espinal, from this vantage point up here in the press box, just a bullet right in the middle of all the defenders. Absolute precision on the shot. It was excellent to see. You know, the question now is what is going to happen on the side of Michigan, right? Because Maryland just scored 2 goals back-to-back within the span of a couple of minutes. Michigan can do the same thing here. Just because they're up 2-1 on the side of the Bobcats doesn't mean that the Stars can't come back in the same fashion. The question is, are they going to be able to do it? It's a tall order.
Nicola couldn't quite play that to Umeda. Down goes Ezra Brown, free kick.
It's going to be important here for the Stars to get a strong possession here. If they can put one in the back of the net, bring this to a 2-2 tie. Put them in a better position here at the end of the match.
Hunter Olsen's free kick. Looking for Nicola. Plucked out of the air by Sutton.
It's a good idea, just wasn't quite perfectly placed.
Yam just crowded out. 2 or 3 Stars around him. Maryland throw. They have 2 changes ready. Michigan Stars might be bringing Milo Barton on as well. He was just called back from his warm-up. Neat turn from Akinkoye. Trying to shrug off the challenge from Shaibu, who earns a yellow card. Another free kick in a dangerous spot for Maryland Bobcats.
That gives 4 players on the side of Michigan with a yellow card here, as we're through 78 minutes. And to my knowledge, none on the side of Maryland.
First change will be Nico Liculia. Coming in for the match winner as of right now, Malik Tom. Lukulia from South Africa. Played his last collegiate season at Wright State down in Dayton.
Checks in for Maryland Bobcats, Lily Pound.
Yam, I think, will be the other going off. So that's both goal scorers. And he'll be replaced by Sam Solomon, who has mostly been used as a substitute the last 2 seasons for the Bobcats.
Solomon checked in for the Bobcats. Number 18, Abdu.
You know, you put one in the back of the net, deserve a little bit of a breather.
Darwin Espinal. Moment of magic from him. That's right at the keeper. And Makruva dives on it.
Slipped on the first touch, but went back for it. Secured the ball. And for now, we still maintain a 1-2 game in favor of the Bobcats.
Yakov Shmelev scooping that forward. That's off of Jimmy Filerman. Throw in for Hunter Olsen. And they will again commit guys forward.
You can imagine a bit of urgency here on the side of Michigan. A prime opportunity here.
Only Brown and Shalbad back. Forka heads that wide. Not enough for another throw-in.
Yeah, the one from Olsen just placed a little bit too far to the right.
Nodded backwards, runs away from Andrew Barrowman. Little back heel, but get possession back to Maryland. Kinkoye, well, he had Lukulia, who had just come onto the field streaking up the pitch, but couldn't send it his way. Lelouch. We find Nicola. Forka heads clear. Shalbud. That's well played for Barrowman. Can he turn a corner against Gonzalez? Barrowman still coming into the box. Last touch by a Maryland player. Stars have a corner.
Absolutely committed to that one right there, pushing through the Maryland defenders, and now rewarded here with a corner.
Can Olsen get the delivery right? That's right into the hands of Sutton.
It was right. Right into the hands of Sutton.
Yeah.
Get behind him!
Espinal's up for the Bobcats. That's a neat ball, and Lukulia here is onside. Sure, they wouldn't mind a third goal, but maybe not necessary at this point. Let's get it over the line at 2-1, take the 3 points back east.
I'm sure that's at the forefront of the minds of Maryland here. Just trying not to allow any mistakes to occur.
Lukulia was off. And now 2 changes for the Stars. Robert Yunchai will come on, and he'll replace Ezra Brown. And Milo Barton coming on for Nicholas Nicola. So the sub being subbed off.
Robert Yunchai checked in for Michigan Star.
So that maybe means Barton is the center forward.
Also, number 2, Milo
You could put Barrowman up there too, I would think. Boy, that was kind of a lax little ball from Baranovsky. Akinkoye lost out to Barrowman.
Yeah, he just kind of jumped right in there and stole the ball away.
Over the shoulder of Shalbot. It's well played by Filerman.
Yes, it was.
And to Solomon onside. He is onside. He's brought down. That'll be a straight red to Shaibu. That's the last thing the Stars need. Well, they've already had so many injuries this season. As clear-cut a red card as you're likely to see. He hauls down Sam Solomon. The Stars a goal down, are now a man down.
You just can't do that, especially when you're down 1-2. 6 minutes left in regulation. Trying to claw back to get one more. You can't go down a man there. I understand you want to maintain possession and keep the goal from happening there, but you just can't do that.
So Ahmed Shaibu Jr. heads back to the dressing room. And that should make the final few minutes a bit more straightforward for the Maryland Bobcats. Free kick for Manny Gonzalez goes wide.
These next 4 minutes are going to be absolutely crucial for the side of Michigan here.
Barrowman did well. First touch for Barton since coming in.
A little shifty move there by Barrowman.
And right back into possession. Maryland.
Oh, that's a nice slide right
Baranovsky
there.
slid in. Did well.
And equally a nice one there.
As did Pasayan. It's really livened up in this second half. Yunchai committing the foul.
I think that really tells the story of this game so far, as the second half has been kind of polar opposite from our first half. The energy has picked up. The goals have picked up.
Nicole Green didn't appreciate Michael Akinkoye taking too long to get off the pitch. And Gavin Shields comes in, will make his second appearance for the Bobcats this season. You could hear that from up here. 33, off, let's go. Shmelev, the diving header.
But the Bobcats still maintaining possession, even through.
Espinal, fouled by Shmelev. Not an especially bad tackle, but like what we saw with Shalbot earlier, you kind of think, well, the player's already been booked. You never know.
You just got to be careful. Once you get that first yellow, it's anything can happen.
Of course, Shaibu had been on a yellow card, but that wasn't a second yellow leading to a red. That was a straight red for denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. So that, I believe, would be a 3-match ban instead of just a 1-match ban.
Michigan certainly does not need that right now.
No, no, no. But still a chance to rescue a point.
It's not over till it's over. Let's see what Olsen can put together.
Yeah, again, the Stars will keep just one player back, and it's Andres Schalbot. Olsen's long throw, headed down and away. Yunchai will collect this. All the way back to Makruva.
The Stars just haven't been able to put anything together off of these long throw-ins by Olsen. That was a little scary there for Makruva.
Headed on, but right to the keeper. Into the final minute of the second half. And Luculia all by himself over there. Ball bounces away. And Shields back to Luculia. Gonzalez. Oh, goodness, what was that about? What was that about? That's Milo Barton and Jocelyn Pasayan getting together.
Tempers are certainly flaring over here as we tick over 90 here. Seems like absolute hysteria taking place down there in the pitch.
Two guys got tangled up. Turned into a brief little wrestling match. I don't know if the fourth official, Jorge Padilla, what, if anything, he has seen. He's in the ear of Nicole Green right now. Fourth official still hasn't had the chance to put his board up for stoppage time. Now he will. I think that flashed 5 minutes momentarily. Right now he's holding up an empty board.
That's what I thought. Saul showed up there for half a second.
Well, it's either 5 minutes or it's number 5 replacing number 0.
I think I'll go with the former.
Makruva, why not? You have to take chances when you're a man down and a goal down. Out for a throw-in. Schalbot will take it quickly for Robert Yunchai.
Increasing the pace here.
Schalbot, he's holding it back, and again, you must be careful. Hearing a lot of Miss Green tonight. Hire there directed to Richard Forca and Pierre Richard.
Booted that one almost the length of the field.
Then off the head of Kevin Shields into the hands of Tatenda Makruva. He loses his footing as he gets rid of it.
Nobody home there to collect that one from Makruva.
Get back, Stars!
You know, a third goal here from the Bobcats would really
Yeah, it certainly would.
give them some confidence exiting here today.
Would really seal the 3 points. Shields tries a back heel. That's into the shins of Lelouch. Shmelev was at full stretch there. And Barton hauled down by Gonzalez. And everybody will get forward for the Stars, and Makruva will take the free kick. He'll be asked to back it up about 5 yards. 3 yards, good enough. Good enough for government work, I guess.
Be this be the last chance here for Michigan side to tie this up.
Won't be many more. Forka thumps it away.
Whew.
Makruva.
Completely on the other side of the field.
Offside flag was up anyway.
He was up to about the 30 here. I mean, oh my God.
Oh, what's happened? Nicole Green, red card in hand, I think, is marching over to the benches. But who? And for what? Well, somebody said something. Must have been.
Oh, looks like we're about to find out here.
Was that to George? I think so. So George Yunchai has been set off. That's not something I expected to have to say tonight, but there we are.
Certainly not. Things have definitely shifted in a very interesting direction here in the last 15, 20 minutes of this match.
It's still one red card fewer than last year.
So we've taken a step of improvement.
Won't be much time left, I wouldn't think. Espinal, is he in? Can he keep it in play? Not quite.
Off the goalpost.
Pings the American football upright. There is a heavy tackle into Yakov Shmelev. And that's all. Probably for the best. May have been more reds and play continued.
Oh my goodness.
So the Maryland Bobcats will take a 2-1 win and the 3 points back east. A really deserved 3 points as well. They were exceptional, I thought, at times in the first half. And then two great goals just a couple minutes apart. One from Abdu Yam, heading in a delicious free kick from Darwin Espinal, and then Malik Tom. I said at the time, an absolute banger into the top corner. Did really, really well. And really, any realistic chance of a Michigan Stars comeback really ended with the Ahmed Shaibu Jr. red card.
You know, just a sensational way to respond. You know, you had most control in the first half from Maryland's side, applying a lot of pressure, but just wasn't able to get one in the back of the net. You come into the second half, and suddenly you're on your heels because Michigan scored the first one, and the ability to score two back-to-back goals, and not just score them, but like you said, I mean, just beautiful shots that just rocked the back of the net and able to just keep a strong foot on the pedal for the rest of the second half. And extra time, it was an entertaining one here in the second half.
A very impressive performance from the Maryland Bobcats. Big win on the road for them, 2-1 over the Michigan Stars. And I tell you what, I am excited for the last two matches this season to be played between the two teams on the 16th and 29th of September. On the 16th at Maryland, the 29th here. Going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be a good time.
I've got the game on the 29th circled on the calendar already.
Oh, 100%. If it's anything like this one, it's going to be an entertaining one to watch for sure.
I think you're right. Full time here in Romeo, Michigan Stars 1, Maryland Bobcats 2. For Brendan Goforth and all of our crew, Mason Lowry saying so long. You've been watching